Let's start saying that everything that surrounds us is asleep. The aim of art is to awaken that which sleeps. How? You turn it and twist it and turn it again and again and again and again and again until it wakes up. Yeah. Theatre is derived from the Greek theatros, a place for viewing, and from theastai, to behold. So theatre is essentially about making visible the invisible. Yeah? The aesthetic experience is an awakening, a mirror that reveals the truth, goodness, and beauty of every moment, all our struggles, yeah? The fullness of humanity, just the opposite of anesthetic, without feeling or perception. So, are we awake or are we asleep? Following a presentation we made a few months ago entitled The Gaze That Changes Everything, Sarah asked me to talk about my experience in leadership in theatre and opera, especially about inspiration, sense-making, and how to communicate it. Yeah? So I'm so grateful to be here and to have the opportunity to talk about a topic that really means a lot to me. Yeah? Leading with art, or to make visible the invisible. So thanks, Airbus, for this opportunity. And let me also welcome all the good people of Airbus, wherever you are. It's so good to have you here. Please stay with us, and I promise you, I will stay with you, okay? So, obviously I can only talk about what was useful to me, and what has worked over the years in different contexts, situations, and with different people, yeah? But let me in advance share with you 3 general lessons that I think create a powerful link between theatre, leadership, and some kind of spirituality. Yeah? So the third. The frames our minds create, yeah, define and confine what we perceive as possible. Yeah? Every problem, every dilemma, every impasse we face in life only seem unsolvable within a certain frame or point of view. If we expand the box or change the frame around the data, yeah, problems disappear and new possibilities arise. Yeah. So the second, there is a space between ourselves and the roles we play. Yeah, we are all playing roles. It is the word person derives also from the Greek and means literally mask. So we are not our roles. We are not our characters. Yeah? It is precisely the space between ourselves and the mask, yeah, that allows us to play. Yeah? It is a space of consciousness, of freedom, of abundant possibilities, of clarity, of compassion, and free choice. Our essential self is the attentive observer and leader of everything that makes up the role we play. Yeah? And third, underneath our changeable nature, yeah? Our singularity, our individuality, our singularity, I just said singularity, personality, yeah? There is a common ground, a human universality that does not change. And therefore, we can trust that despite all our differences, the human condition remains in its universality. And in this sense, I would like to invite you today to consider 3 great values and 3 guidelines that served me well as a compass to do not lose sight on what is essential and don't get lost in ornamental distractions. Yeah? The values are the truth, the good, and the beauty. And the rules do no harm. First, look what talent does. And last but not least, Don't be boring. So let's start with some considerations about the truth. I'm pretty sure that the first rule I learned when I started directing, the most sacred one, was do no harm. It is important because, of course, we do harm, sometimes a lot, even without wanting, right? Yeah. So it is useful to realize as soon as possible that we tend to judge ourselves by our good intentions and other people by their wrong actions and behaviors. This is kind of tricky because intentions and behaviors are almost ever worlds apart. Yeah. But to explain what do no harm really means, I first need to talk about two very different worlds, the ordinary world and the world of possibility. The ordinary world is a world of measurement. Yeah? We all know this world very well. It is dominated by assessments, scales, standards, grades, labels, little boxes, and comparisons. Yeah? In this everyday story, each of us strives for success, hoping to get to a better place than the one we occupy. And on our way to achieving a goal, we inevitably encounter obstacles, right? Some of the most common, apart from other people, of course, are shortage of time, money, power, love, resources, and inner strength. It is assumed that life is about staying alive and surviving in a world of scarcity and danger, being alert to danger, having a calculating and strategic mind, an eye for assessing friends and enemies, an ability to judge strengths and weaknesses, knowing how to take possession of resources, and a good amount of distrust and fear are some of the qualities that safeguard us. Keeping our armor intact is also vitally important, which is resisting any challenge to our personal point of view, of course. We feel more secure if we treat reality as if it were fixed, as if people, ideas, and situations could be fully known and measured. The ordinary world is ordered by hierarchies, right? Some people, places, groups, gender, races, seems to be better or more powerful than others. The dramatic action of this world of success and failure is about overcoming adversity and triumph, or recognition and inclusion. Competition is the vehicle for success. And metaphors based on sports or war apply to almost any situation. Yeah. This is not science fiction. This is how we are. Just in case you think that doesn't suit you. This is our world. The world in which we have been brought up and educated. It is an extractive world in which everyone competes for a little piece of the same pie. Now, for me, when data are becoming more and more important than people, something is going wrong. Yeah. I'll show you how the game works. Yeah? You are not good enough. You are not quick enough. You are not precise enough. You are not a team player. You are not committed enough. And you, what to say about you? You are a total failure. Sound familiar? Yeah? Seriously? Are we humans really the problem? For whom? Why? I mean, who has a right to claim for perfection? And what kind of perfection? One without a soul, without truth, goodness, and beauty? I mean, how can you expect people to give their best in these conditions? It is astonishing, don't you think? I personally believe that all our problems, pains and illnesses that plagues us in our daily life, work and personal relationships are products of this ordinary world. So, when I started directing, coming from acting, well, I experienced a lot of amazing things, met great people, really great people, but also the opposite, because theatre is not a paradise, and artists are no saints. A big amount of shit, I can tell you. Pressure, urgency, shouting, humiliation, abuses, pills, drugs, alcohol, anger, anxiety attacks, the whole package. Yeah? Have you ever seen a person convulsing, sobbing and choking at the same time because of work? Or lying on the floor, unable to move, thinking they are going to die because of work? These are some of the funny things in the backstage of high performance. And one of my main tasks as a young assistant director to grade tyrannical, inept, or selfish leaders, to pick up the pieces of broken bodies and souls and glue them back together, because the show must go on. And I did it well. To that time, I earned my first nickname in the industry, the fireman, kind of insurance policy for any production. Anyway, so seeing this landscape, I said to myself, well, this is definitely the red line, and I'm not going to repeat this pattern. So the question I asked myself was, how can I have more impact, more influence, be more creative and contributive without generating more pain and suffering, but rather the opposite? What if we could play a different game? If everything depends on the frame we have, why not create a new frame, a new context? Why not a new world? This is where the alternative worldview of possibility comes into play, because reality and truth is not the same. Facts, no matter how closely they are observed, are truth with a lowercase t. The truth with a capital T is hidden behind, below, beyond, within, beneath the surface, and cannot be observed directly. Those who only see the visible and factual are blind to the truth of life, because life and people are not a product of engineering. Sorry about that, it's not personal, At one end of reality, we have facts and data. At the other end, pure imagination. The distortion of truth is greater at the two extremes. That's why we have to integrate data and imagination to get to the truth. Because without a coherent interpretation of data, we wouldn't be able to make any decision. We wouldn't be able to distinguish what is important to us and what is not. And we get to a certain truth by meaning making. The question is, if this meaning is coherent and effective, both for us and for others. So being a good leader is also being a provider of meaning. Not always easy. In this sense, the world of possibility extends beyond the world of measurement to include all worlds. It is infinite, generative, and abundant, without the daily preoccupation with survival, free from the commonplace assumption of scarcity. A person can stand in the great space of possibility with an attitude of openness and limitless imagination for all that can be. With this mindset, life appears as it really are, diverse and variable, a resplendent pattern and movement that invites us to participate in each and every moment, producing new life, creating new ideas, consciously providing sense and meaning, contributing and yielding to the power of context, to what the context is asking us to do. It emphasizes the relationship between people and environments, not people and things per se. And emotions, often relegated to categories of distrust, flourish here. Joy, gratitude, awe, wonder, playfulness, fulfillment, love, passion, and compassion. There are moments where we forget ourselves and seem to become part of the whole. Have you ever had this kind of experience? I think this is how being inspired feels like. Or a lover's atmosphere. This quality of silence. It is a clear sign of talent, of your talent. Yeah. So let me say a few words about talent. Michelangelo is often quoted as saying that in every block of marble stone dwells a beautiful statue. One only needs to remove the excess of material to reveal the work of art within. If we were to apply this visionary concept to people, it would make no sense to compare one person to another. Instead, all the energy would be focused on picking at the stone and getting rid of everything that stands in the way between the development of each individual skill's mastery and self-expression. And from this stage, my friends, we expect everyone, everyone, to reveal the work of art within, the great work of their art that appeal, among other things, to warmth, nobility, intelligence, sensitivity, beauty, and of course love. It is, I think, dangerous to have our artists so obsessed with competition, because it will be difficult for them to take the risks necessary to become great performers, because it is only when we take mistakes in performance, then we make mistakes in performance, that we really begin to notice what needs our attention and care. And hopefully we begin to realize that all the labels that we have taken so seriously are human inventions. I tell you what, everything is a game. Everything is a game. And you can choose how to play and what kind of player to be. Remember the space between you and the mask. Treating people as a work of art is an invention that creates possibilities for the director as well as for the actor, for the manager as well as for the employee, and for any human interaction. So use your hammer and sizzle as leaders with infinite gentleness, so as not to harm or destroy the work of art in front of you. Our job is to eliminate everything superfluous and insubstantial that stands in the way between the individual and his or her expression in the world. Yeah? So look for the real thing locked in stone. Make visible the invisible. Look for ways to reveal and support it without doing any harm. Yeah? So in summary, keep 3 ideas in mind. We cannot change behaviors without changing our frame, our mindset. Everything starts with how we perceive the world. You can change the game and move from a world of competition and scarcity to a world of collaboration and abundance. Second, data are a truth with a lowercase t. Yeah? The truth with a capital T is hidden and does not become visible without imagination, inquiry, make a lot of questions, look to things from different perspectives, and appreciation. We have to integrate data and meaning to get to the truth. And third, please, make an effort to make visible the invisible work of art within by turning and twisting it around and by eliminating everything superfluous and insubstantial without doing any harm. Yeah. Okay, so far? How is it going? Good? Yeah? Okay, so let's move on to the good. Yeah? The second value. A huge question for leaders in any organization to ask themselves is how much greatness are you willing to grant to people? For it makes a difference who we choose to lead. Fluffed, incompetent, and lazy people, or artists, masterpieces in its own right, looking for ways to reveal themselves to the world. Leadership activity, because it is an activity, yeah, not a position. You just know that, I guess, yeah, is not limited to directors, CEOs, project managers, politicians, or whatever. The parents who contributes to the formation of their children by giving them roots, wings, love, security, and encouragement, yeah, are exercising leadership of a deeper kind. Listening to how passion, commitment, or resistance is being expressed is a practice of a silent leader. So how can this leader know if he or she is fulfilling this intention? Look people in the eyes. We never look people really in the eyes. Actors do all the time. And ask yourself, who am I that they should not shine? So what can I do? I can invite her to express herself, to share her views, thoughts and feelings. Would you? I can challenge her, encourage her to try different things or to make things differently. Would you? I can talk to her about my own passion and what inspires me. I can look for opportunities to hand her the responsibility, to hand her the button, prende la battuta, as the Italians say. So, there is a time time to observe, a time to make sense, a time to make a decision, and a time to act. Yeah? And in every partial time, there is a moment of not knowing, yeah, the real source of creativity and a choice to make. And between any choice, every choice, there is an open space for transformation. Yeah. Remember, a transformation is a change in the way we experience the world. Yeah. So give it a chance. However, we are used to the downward spiral discourse of the ordinary world, yeah? Focusing on the abstraction of scarcity. The downward spiral discourse creates a story about the limits of what is possible and convincingly tells us how things go from bad to worse. But we can also ask, what is here now? And then, wait, what else is here now? This means simply to be present. Present without resistance or judgment. Present to what is happening, and also present to your own reactions, no matter how intense they are. And then you may ask, what do we want to do from here? It is a perfect invitation for learning. Yeah. Good leadership is also about being able to communicate her worth and potential so clear that she is inspired to lead for herself. Yeah. So as I said, when we I don't know how to say this. The main thing for today's leaders, I suggest, yeah, is to don't get lost in ornamental distractions. Yeah? And there's so much, our daily hurry, mountains of information, data, fake news, cynicism, and of course our own ego, and maintain the clarity of an enabling vision to stand confidently in the abundant space of possibility. Yeah? However fearful people may be, however fierce the competition, however hard the need to go for the short-term goal, and however urgent the threat may seem, it is to have the courage and persistence to maintain the clarity of an enabling vision, to stand in the space of possibility, yeah, in the face of any challenge. And by the way, yeah, I like very much the word respect. That comes to my mind. It comes from the Italian, I think, and means rispettare, to look twice or to look again. Yeah? Do you see? And this is linked to another word I like very much, humility. It comes from the Latin humus, the fertile soil that allows things to grow. Yeah? That is to be the context. That is to be a servant leader. Yeah? But believe me, to create this kind of goodness is not easy, as you can imagine. Yeah? Everything seems to go against it, including our own survival instinct. And we have to practice a lot. Yeah? Learning to be mindful in action. I mean, really in action, not sitting on the floor. By trial and error, making yourself vulnerable. Yeah? And you may have to develop a tough character and a strong personality, of course, discipline. Yeah? But first, and most important, you have to have this enabling vision. Yeah? How do you see persons? Find your own enabling vision. And the will and strength to within you to make it real. I think this is our main preparation as leaders, because your knowledge and skills, technical skills, are your craft. Yeah, good about that. But what about your art? I mean, leadership and human interactions are mostly art. So what else have you to offer to make of this place, yeah, a better world? Let us assume for a moment, yeah, little bit of, I don't know, philosophy or whatever, that there is a vital, expressive energy that flows everywhere, yeah, and that it is the medium for life existence, and that any blockage of participating in that vitality lies within ourselves. Life is a pulse and has a rhythm. Bum, 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 bum. A dynamic of tension and release, tension and release. And if we wanted to stay in either end, yeah, good, bad, right, wrong, me, you, success, failure, change, continuity, the pulse would stop. The energy would stop flowing, and life would be extinguished. Yeah, no emergent properties anymore. But if we keep up the rhythm, life becomes much easier, smoother, and enjoyable. Yeah? Nature is never stuck, but always fluid. Yeah? Sometimes this means to say yes to the mess. It don't last forever. It's part of the process. Yeah? And chaos or crisis could be a good starting point for rethinking and to listen anew what is really happening and what needs to be done right now. Like in a jam session in jazz. Listen to jazz, even if you don't like it. Yeah? If you listen carefully, you will understand, yeah? Or to any good music. Improvising musicians, dancers, and actors are not thinking about what notes to play next or what gestures to make next. They let come those notes and gestures to them. Great art comes from a far greater space than the sum of individuals. Yeah. To do this, the first step is to realize where we are holding back. Yeah. We all are holding back in some way. Listening to our bodies. Coming home again. Feeling the tensions. The handbrake. The stick in the ass. All the load we take with us, pain, shame, guilty, expectations, frustrations, fears, and letting go. Release. Allowing whatever will happen to happen. You let go of those barriers of ego that keeps you separate and over-controlled, yeah? Pre-planned ideas, calculations, strategies, and let the vital energy of passion surge through you, connecting you to the current. The second step is to participate fully. This is to become involved and committed. Allow yourself to be the channel for shaping the current of passion into a new expression for the world. This means often to take a leap, not a step. Surrendering and trusting. Yeah. I know it's hard. It's so tough at the beginning. But the nowness, the nowness is secure. The nowness is a state without struggle. It is what some call getting in control without control. Yeah. Maybe this sounds a little bit confusing to you. It's such a strange language. What is this crazy guy talking about? But listen, in my first really important direction, I was so anxious and so ambitious. Well, I thought I had to have all the answers for any possible question. And that makes me only more anxious and afraid of not being up to the task. But at the first rehearsal, kind of survival instinct made me share how nervous I was. So I told the cast that I have been waiting for more than 10 years to make this show. 10 years. Yeah, because the only thing I heard over and over and over again was, no way, impossible. You are crazy. So I told them what it meant to me, why it was so important, the absolutely new approach I wanted to take, and why I thought it was necessary, unique, and valuable to make this show in this very moment. And I told them the revolutionary concept for a setting as a great metaphor for the big message, and that no one, really no one has this ever done before, and that we are taking a great risk, and that maybe we would fail. I made myself vulnerable and unintentionally, because I was almost a rookie. I created the conditions for everyone to want to participate. And the result was a wave of enthusiasm I've never had experienced in my life before. Everyone wanted to contribute, to give their best, to break their necks, to make this vision a reality. And it was a huge success. And a wonderful process, not without difficulties, of course. We won almost every award possible, I don't know how. And by the way, my nickname changed over time from the fireman to the kamikaze. A slightly ambiguous one, I guess, Anyway, participation is the art and practice of generating a spark of possibility for others to share. Passion, not fear, is the force that fires the spark. Abundance, not scarcity, is the context. So, the practice of participation is about giving oneself as a possibility to others and being willing in turn to capture their spark. It is about playing together as partners in the field of light, a world where asking, giving and receiving are an act of pure generosity, and you know what? It is highly effective. And the only place from which people really want to to get involved and engage. So imagine that people are an invitation to participate. Be ready to participate, ready to be moved and inspired. Offer what inspires and thrills you, and do no doubt that others are eager to capture that spark. The life force of humanity is perhaps nothing more and nothing less than the passionate energy of wanting to connect, express, and communicate. This practice launches you on a journey of transformation and development with others. Yeah? Imagine how deeply trustworthy you would be to the people who work with you if they felt that no problem can arise between you that you are not prepared to take on. Imagine how much incentive they would have to collaborate if they knew that they could count on you to clear the path to great performance and achievement. But it requires courage, responsibility, and compassion. You know, it's never about you as a leader, it is always about them. Yeah. That's why I repeat, the main challenge for today's leaders, I suggest, is to don't get lost in so many ornamental distractions, and to maintain the clarity of an enabling vision, to stand confidently in the abundant space of possibilities, however fierce the competition, however hard the need to go for the short-term goal, however fearful people may be, and however hard the threat may seem. This is, I think, the main essence of leading with art. Let's say this way. So I don't know. The time is almost up. So let me say, finishing. Saying a few words about the beauty, hopefully. We can use words, language matters, to define new frames of possibilities that opens up the part of us that contributes the most, that liberates the most, that opens up the most for participation and reveal what we really are. Unique masterpieces, creatures of light and beauty. To create is to believe, and bringing out the best part of people is an act of faith, love, and hope. The most disruptive and beautiful thing you can offer to a world of scarcity, disconnection, and hostility. It is because of a great love that we are brave, said Lao Tse. When we give the best of us, when we are most powerful, we become most vulnerable because we give ourselves to a great love. The world is counting on you to open up new frames of possibilities and to discover what human beings can do. So, to be or not to be, that's the question. That's always the question. And it is up to you to awaken that which sleeps, and to envision and sculpt the hidden work of art within the stone. So, thank you for keeping possibilities alive.
Thanks, Joaquin. It was grateful. It was very inspiring, at least for me. I hope for you as well. And now it's time for you to show participation. No? It's time for you to ask Joaquin whatever questions that pop up on your mind while you were hearing to him. Okay? We will have also questions from Airbus Live, but we can start here, no? Don't be shy.
I'm yours. Use me. And if you don't, I have much more to say.
Who wants to start? We have Carmen.
Hello. I guess being a director with a specific project, with a specific date for start date, let's say, for an act, there is a lot of pressure, as you said, in this kind of project. I think in every project there is pressure, there are limited resources, limited time. So it's so fascinating what you said about this passion, about letting people bring everything, the best of people, and I think this is part of the role of a director. But could you give us some tricks, let's say, in this environment of pressure, of how to calm down sometimes the environment, even knowing that you have a date of a start date for the show and all that, how can you calm down the environment, make people feel comfortable in this, but still fulfilling the dates?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah. When I was young, I mean, much younger than now. I was lucky, yeah. A great German and wise actress, said to me once, Joaquin, if you give the best you have in every rehearsal, every night on stage, you have to find a way to fill yourself up again. Otherwise, sooner or later, you will be empty and you will have nothing more to give. Well, so, the everyday demands squeezes us and close us down. Yeah. So that's why it is always a matter of opening up again, of making space, of letting go, of liberating ourselves and flowing back into the rhythm, tuning our instrument by softening our mind, heart and will. This is our secret garden, the source of our power, vitality and well-being. So I learned, and I think every actor learns how to be kind to oneself, to make yourself a gift. And there are many ways to do this. I can give you some very, very simple but effective advices. For instance, I like very much to read or to listen to music and nothing else. Even if it's only for 10 minutes, but nothing else. I like so much to listen to music because to feel its flow, to feel the time and space, to feel the ups and downs and changes in dynamics and volumes, to realize that emotions are accompanied by images and images by emotions. Yeah? Listen to music makes you so sensitive to life, to evolution, to change and continuity, to transformation and transitions. It is so beautiful. So if you take your time, we have to work first on ourselves before you work with other people, yeah? And that's why it is so important, yeah? You can do other things, very simple things. I have notebooks since I was more or less 16, yeah? I write everything down. I observe everything. Conversations, behaviors, everything that doesn't fit in, ambiguities, everything that could be interesting. Writing it down forces you to find the right words that resonate with your own experience, yeah, and that makes you also so sensitive and creative for words, for situations, and enhance your capacity to connect different dots. That makes you so creative, yeah, because of your observation. You can also do the opposite, yeah, and after wake up, sit down for 5 minutes with a blank sheet and write everything down what comes to your mind without any filter. It is like a morning evacuation, yeah, to make space. That makes you so aware of your own mechanisms, yeah, of your thinking and feeling, and you will be able to feed, to sense these mechanisms in other people. Yeah, I mean, also, let's say, physical exercises is not only physical, it's psychophysical. It's so important. I like very much to be every day in contact with myself, now through my body. I like to feel my, let's say, inner and outer space, my mental and emotional readiness. Yeah, this is so important because sportsmen or actors, yeah, artists never begin to work without preparation, without a warm-up. Yeah. And in your work, I think it's not usual, but you can do it privately. Yeah, preparation. For what is useful preparation? Preparation is the only thing that gives you a kind of security, because it makes you free in the very moment. If you are not prepared, you are thinking too much and your attention is not with the situation and with other people. So if you are prepared, you are free for the context. That's why we have to work to prepare a lot. And I think that our work, our families, our friends and colleagues demands that we bring our full presence and attention to our experience. Yeah. We need our full humanness to make the work more pleasure. To have more pleasure, to have more joy, to have more inspiring situations, creative moments. It's not all about thinking. I don't know, is there, was it an answer to your question? Yeah. Thank you.
I think we have one question, at least one, many questions, but we have time for one more question from the chat.
Yes, we are receiving a lot of comments, really inspiring, thank you, people really enjoy it a lot. And we have a couple of questions, and one of more creative one is, how were you able to overcome your fears?
You know, fears are emotions, right? So it is a part of you. You are creating, you are the creator of your own emotions, also of your fears. So you can't fight with your emotions. They are there. Yeah? So the only thing you can do is to, it seems simple, but it's kind of hard, yeah, to accept it, and don't fight. Yeah, sometimes I think about fears like a little kid, yeah, that wants my attention, and I have to talk with the kid and say, listen, I have to make a speech right now. Yeah, I cannot play with you. Yeah, I know you are worried that I will be damaged or whatever. Yeah, but I assure you, after the speech, I will play with you, and you can tell me everything you want. Yeah, but sit down. Yeah, and be careful. Yeah. So some kind of. It's playing, it's play. It's not always so tough and difficult, yeah. When things are difficult, try to make it light, to make it bright, to make it playful, because it is just difficult, yeah. So fears, try. For me, it is so inspiring to remember the great Nobel Prize and theatre man, Samuel Beckett. Yeah. No matter, try, fail, fail better, yeah, fail again. Yeah. That's it. Practice. Yeah. Practice. Mindful and constant practice is the only way to become a good leader. That's my point. The fears is part of the process. Yeah, make it once again and again, and you become familiar to all these difficulties around you, and. Don't have fear of people. People are only people. A great master of me said once, theatre is people talking with people to people. That's it. People are people.
Okay, thanks a lot. We don't have more time for more questions. Thanks a lot for coming to this YouTube, and I hope you will practice a lot after having heard to Joaquin. Thanks a lot.
As Hamlet said, yeah, a simple farewell, the rest is silence. Bye-bye.